All right, boys, we're back here with another Madden 25 Ultimate Team video. Now, in today's video, I'm going to go over 10 cards that I don't necessarily want to say are must-have. They're just cards that have been absolutely balling for me, and I think you should run them. However, I think we're at a really good spot in the game where there are actually really good alternatives, especially these core golds that are super fast, man. There are some really good value and like cheap alternatives. And getting into our first card right here, I actually had to re-record because as I was recording this video, we actually got a part 2 legend drop, which 2 of these cards got to be on the list. And one of the cards that I am now adding to the list is this new Brian Urlacher. So Brian Urlacher, 6'4", 258, 84 speed with 86 acceleration. What I will say though is, right, kind of like what I was saying at the beginning of the video where there's a lot of budget alternatives. The person that was on the list before Brian Urlacher was actually 72 Troy Anderson. I would still probably lean for the price Troy Anderson. I mean, going for 13K on Xbox, 781 on PlayStation, 4K on PC, he's 6'4", 235, and this is an all-out user player, I should say that as well. 84 speed, 85 acceleration. Urlacher has 1 more acceleration. Just user value of price, Troy Anderson. But also Brian Urlacher does have a lot better tackling, a lot better zone coverage as well. But something I want to talk about with Troy Anderson specifically, again, we are giving the nod to Brian Urlacher, but had to re-record this part where I was yapping about Troy Anderson. You might have been worried about this low tackling rating and like low hit power, but honestly, having used this card and usered this card so much, I don't think this is noticeable right here. I think for the lower overall linebackers like Troy Anderson, Isaiah Simmons, these core golds, really the only time I noticed them really like lacking, the only time I feel like, oh yeah, they feel like core golds is when you ask them to do maybe a little bit too much in the run game, like defend the edge versus like these high elite rated offensive tackles or a high run block tight end. So that's the only time where I feel like these guys just aren't good. The first 5 cards of today's video are all personal favorite Dill cards. At number 9, Evan Ingram tight end. This card, I thought he was going to be good because of the base stats, but man, oh man, he kind of blew away my expectations. And Evan Ingram, he is 74K on Xbox, he is 90K on PlayStation, and I think this is the best pure receiving tight end in the game. I think Kittle is the best balance right now. I think he's good value. Again, best receiving tight end in the game in my opinion. So the 84 speed, the 86 acceleration, that is obvious right there, a main reason why we want him. However, as well, has a really good player model too, 6'3", 240. If I was to tell you an 84 speed, 6'3", 240 receiver, you would like that too. So has basically a receiver player model at tight end, and the route running, 80 short route running. Sometimes I feel like there's times where I put him on a tight end corner. Yes, he may get locked up by like the top end like options at DB, very rarely I should say, but for me, what's just crazy about him, and it doesn't make sense, okay? Because he has 75 juke, 64 spin. This card is absolutely crazy after the catch. Like, he has made play after play for me. And again, Evan Ingram is very high on my personal favorite card list. That's why I recommend running him as your starting tight end. I think this card is a beast. I'm gonna have Micah Parsons. So Micah Parsons, this is like a 2-parter card because it's either the 84 Micah Parsons or it's a potential free pre-order one. So I guess I was wrong on this. I said you had the Madden mobile. I guess this is the card that you get for pre-ordering both Madden and college football. But either way, man, Micah Parsons, the main reason he's here, it's the speed and acceleration. Now, something to note on defensive linemen just period in this game. Also, the 84 is like +1 every single stat. Like you can kind of see everything. Something to note on this game when we're talking about speed and acceleration at the defensive end spot, but this card also, since he is a right end, can play defensive tackle. So a lot of the meta in the game right now, it's a lot of double A gap. It's a lot of disengaged style of pressure. So a lot of times when there's disengaged style of pressure, you just want the fastest player you can get. It doesn't really matter the pass rush. Doesn't really matter the block shed or impact blocking. You just want speed and acceleration. And that's what Micah Parsons does. But what I will say on top of that as well, though, I think even if the disengaged style of pressure gets blocked, this card is still amazing. He has 84 finesse moves, power moves a little bit lower, and trait-wise has all 3 pass rush traits on yes. But something else I want to talk about too when it comes to defensive linemen, I feel like block shed and impact blocking, I'm not saying they don't matter, but run defense in this game is just naturally good. So this is something, again, you can play this card a defensive tackle, and I don't think it's a crazy thing to do. This card and another card on the list are my defensive tackles, just because of how much of a difference I think, especially with the pressure and like the blitzes in the game. This just makes a crazy difference. I don't think there's a debate with Micah Parsons. I also don't think there's really a great budget alternative to him. I think this is a must-have player. Man, if you watched the channel last year and still watching this year, you should have known Javon Hargrave on the list, man. Javon Hargrave, love this card, man. I think literally in the most recent gameplay we just uploaded, 3 sacks in one game. It's not only the speed and acceleration like we talked with Micah Parsons that is actually pretty solid, especially acceleration. That's probably the rating you do want to prioritize with defensive linemen or pass rushers, but it's the 86 finesse moves, man. 86 finesse moves. I know what you're like, oh, the power moves are a little bit lower, but this time block shed, impact blocking really good. And the power moves are lower. However, this card has perfect traits. What do I mean by that? This bull rush move, think of that as the power move rating, right? And what you're going to notice is that is on no. What does that mean? That means he's not going to use that power move rating, but he has spin and swim move on yes. These 2 ratings right here are tied to the finesse move rating. So that means he's only going to use finesse moves. It's basically like block out that power move rating, 86 finesse moves, 86 block shed, 84 impact blocking. This card plays amazing. I think he's one of the best cards in the game for sure. And now we're going to add another pass rusher to the list. Limited LTD Lawrence Taylor looks insane. Kind of like what I was saying about Micah Parsons. Now, again, Montez Sweat didn't include him in this video because that gauntlet reward, it's only been 1 week and it's like for a mil coins, it's kind of tough to justify like you need him or like must have player. Lawrence Taylor though, LTD price probably going to be around that 500K mark, just like Tom Brady. And he's 86 speed, 85 finesse moves, 86 power moves, 82 block shed. Like this corner right here of speed, power moves, finesse moves, block shed, best pass rusher in the game. And something I would note on this card as well is now getting a line potentially Lawrence Taylor, Micah Parsons, Montez Sweat, Javon Hargrave. That is a whole lot of speed and that is a whole lot of pass rush. When we talk about this number 5 spot, okay, I debated 3 potential cards right here. Montez Sweat, in my opinion, right, kind of didn't want to include him in this video because like a gauntlet reward and his card that you could buy is 1.21 mil. Only first week of gauntlet, not a lot of people are gonna have him. I feel like that's more of a cop-out answer. The 2 I settled on, right, it was either Antonio Cromartie or Ken Houston. Both of these cards, man, are really, really good. I wanted to put one on the list, one off the list, right? Melifonwu should deserve an honorable mention as well, but I decided on Antonio Cromartie. 86 speed, 85 acceleration, 6'2", and the 85 man coverage. This is like, he is an ideal man coverage corner with how good mid blitz is or the double A gap blitz. It's very hard not to have someone like Antonio Cromartie on the list. I know we already had Woolen on the list. That's a personal favorite card of mine that I really love, but Antonio Cromartie is a step above Woolen as well. I think this card is absolutely amazing, and number 5 and number 4 are both going to be corners. So we already talked about Antonio Cromartie, but I also wanted to put Rasul Douglas on the list, and this was another one, right? Like him versus Ken Houston, right? Rasul Douglas, 85 speed, 86 acceleration, was basically a rental price. Now he's up to like 600K, but besides that, it's the high tier of man, zone, and press, man. You could potentially get his man or his zone up to 90 with coach strategy cards, and while he might not be the fastest, I mean, he's 85 speed, it's still really, really good. It's just, you're not really getting these coverage stats from anyone else. Like hitting that 90 tier zone coverage potentially on a day 1 card is absolutely crazy. And he also does have that play ball and air aggressive trait as well. So love Rasul Douglas, love Antonio Cromartie. Now we got 3 cards left that I want to talk about. So we're going to go ahead and talk about quarterback right here, because what would this list be without a quarterback, man? I want to say something that I think I messed up on. While there are great value cards, like, I mean, 81 Jalen, I mean, even Kirk Cousins can get the job done. From 81 Kirk Cousins to these 79s like CJ Stroud, Jordan Love, this CJ Stroud, like there are so many good value options. Even 76 Jaden Daniels deserves to be talked about. Like, so much value at the quarterback spot. Josh Allen, okay, 80 speed, 84 acceleration. For me, that is awesome. Like one of the most mobile quarterbacks in the game. That's great, don't get me wrong. It's this right here, 87 throw power, which if we go ahead and let's sort quarterback by throw power, honestly, my take on quarterback right now, I think throw power is the most important rating that separates quarterback. And yes, even over accuracies, I think accuracies, they do, of course they do matter. I'm not saying accuracies don't matter, but a lot of the placement and accuracy stuff, I just noticed being able to throw a streak when you have a step compared to not being able to throw a streak when you have a step. And I really think that's where Josh Allen shines. Like even compared to someone, I mean, honestly, even Anthony Richardson, I had a little bit of issues like him underthrowing receivers, really had it bad with Jordan Love, which I don't even know where his throw power is, but he would underthrow a lot of balls. 78 throw power on Jordan Love. That 87 throw power on Josh Allen is my favorite thing about the card, and that's why I want to include him on the list. I would say he is the best quarterback in the game. I think An alternative also is Brady. Brady, of course, is a great pocket passer. You also get 80 speed on Josh Allen. So Josh Allen is my QB1 in the game. And we got a final 2 cards that I want to spotlight. I feel like these ones, pretty obvious ones though. We're gonna have Cam Chancellor. Cam Chancellor, man, the hit stick is back. Cam Chancellor lands the boomstick, man. 6'3", 225, 85 speed, 84 acceleration, 83 zone. It's not the highest tier zone, but 87 hit power. And this is a card that the flexibility you have with him, right? You can user him. He can be an in-the-box player. He can play the slot. He can be an over-the-top safety. I feel like this card just has to play somewhere, man, on your defense. On the best defense in the game, on the best team in the game. He's playing somewhere. So that's why he's here. And I feel like I don't need to spend a ton of time going over Cam. I think you understand why he's so good. And rounding out the video right here, gotta have Randy Moss, man. Man, is this card amazing. 6'4" height, 86 speed, 86 acceleration. I think he's the best receiver in the game. 85 deep route running as well. I think this is bugged right here. His release is 0. He has 0 release. That is also known as the beat press rating. Then I guess I just don't know ball. Also, look at this 82 Randy Moss with 84 speed. Hello? Talk about a budget beast. But yeah, boys, those were 10 cards in the game that I just wanted to spotlight. I talked about some people that just didn't make the list, and that's not to say they're bad cards by any means. These are just 10 cards that I am fully like, I recommend. They balled out for me. Love these cards. And I do think a lot of these cards play at the top end level. Love these cards. So yeah, boys, hope y'all did enjoy this video, man. If you did, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more Madden 25 Ultimate Team content just like this. Now, if you guys do want to go ahead and see me use some of these cards live on stream, again, stream here on YouTube and Twitch almost every single day. Watch on YouTube, make sure to hit that noti bell as well. You'll be notified every time I upload or go live here. Or if you want to watch on the Twitch, check the links in the description, hit that Twitch with a follow. But if you guys do want another video to watch, check out this one right here.